I've got a power rankings, guys.
Oh, you do?
I can't. I'm not
it's Wednesday.
I don't have a top 10. It's just in terms of power rankings teams anymore, right? Because there's only 8 left. Right. And I could have put the Bucks in at 9 and figured out which is the better team that lost.
The team that didn't get blown out.
You know what I mean? Exactly, right? Like the Bucks would be 9, and then we'll have to figure out the team that got blown out the least after that at 10. It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So great idea from Rich Eisen Show coordinating producer Mike Hoskins. He said, why not do a power rankings of possible Super Bowl matchups? And I said, why not? Hit it.
This is mine.
Power rankings.
There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Power rankings.
Now, obviously, when it comes to ranking possible Super Bowl matchups, narratives come into play, and the possibility of having well-matched teams because you want to see a good game. Number 10 on the list of the power rankings of possible Super Bowl matchups, I'm going Commanders-Texans. Dynamic young quarterbacks chosen 2nd overall. C.J. Stroud set a standard that we thought that would be difficult to top, and then Jaden Daniels followed up the rookie year of C.J. Stroud. This would be the matchup of the reigning offensive rookie of the year and the guy who followed him up. Texans and Commanders. Texans have never been to a Super Bowl, so let's go.
I mean, Fox is praying against this with all their might.
I understand. I understand. But, back in the day, Steelers and the Cardinals, I spoke to a very high-ranking television executive. It was like, Cardinals are in it? And then it still keeps pushing MASH down the list of most watched television shows in the history of United States viewership. So, number 9. Most entertaining regular season game of the year, would you say it was Rams-Bills? Got to put it up there.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
44-42 final. Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns in the game, 3 in the air, 3 in the ground. Matthew Stafford and Josh Allen in SoFi Stadium. You want to run it back in the Superdome? I think that would be a highly anticipated, much-watched game. Bills back at the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford trying to win his 2nd. Let's go. Number 8 on the list.
I think that's kind of low.
Number 8. Well, let's see how the rest of them go here. Number 8 on the list, Commanders-Ravens. Now,
that should be higher.
Now, but the one thing that you if you want to talk about television ratings is you don't want to have 2 teams in the same area. Either you kind of want to spread it out.
Right.
Yeah. But the Battle of the Mid-Atlantic, Commanders-Ravens, Lamar and Jaden Daniels. If you want to take a look at Jaden Daniels again, look at the photographs on the screen.
Yeah, I like this QB matchup.
It's kind of similar, right? Like if you look at Jaden Daniels, how far he drops back and how he runs and how he's smart enough to run and how he's smart enough to get down and he can sling it. It's like Lamar. Let's go.
Yeah, really like that.
Number 7, one of the most entertaining Monday Night Football games ever. Rams-Chiefs. Remember that one?
Yeah.
I understand it was Jared Goff at the time.
I mean, I was there.
But let's run this one back as well. Let's see what the Rams and the Chiefs can do with one another. Chiefs putting a 3-peat on the line against the Los Angeles. If the Rams make it to the Super Bowl, it would be just filled with win one for L.A. And we would talk about all the heroics that we're seeing go down literally as we're talking right now here in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
So that's number 7. Number 6 on the list. First time I'm mentioning this team's name. The Eagles taking on the Bills.
Yes.
This would be a lot of fun
now
here.
We're talking.
Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, and we all know there's a history of Sean McDermott with Philadelphia and the Bills making the Super Bowl against an NFC East team. Where have we heard that before? Every single time they've made it, right? So they played a great game last year as well. That was without Saquon on Philadelphia. So that's number 6. Let's go top 5 of my power rankings of possible Super Bowl matchups. Number 5, Lions-Ravens.
Ooh.
Let's go. Ravens, as we all know, if they make the Super Bowl, that's the last time they won. It was in the Superdome. It was John Harbaugh versus brother. Now here comes Dan Campbell and the Lions making the Super Bowl against the Ravens. This would be just a fun Super Bowl. Derrick Henry being rolled downhill at Dan Campbell's defense. Come on now. Number 4 on the list, Eagles-Ravens. Eagles-Ravens. Because you want to talk about this being a game with Derrick Henry and Saquon in there. Now, this game happened in Baltimore. The Eagles won it. Ravens haven't lost since that game, by the way. They would be on a losing streak ever since facing the Eagles in the regular season. And then, of course, Lamar and Jalen Hurts. That would be significant in so many ways. And then John Harbaugh was a special teams assistant for Philadelphia. But if you want to talk about a former coach coaching against his former team, I mean, John is just the special teams coach for Philadelphia. If it's Eagles-Chiefs and Andy Reid could become a three-peat head coach for the first time in NFL history and do it against the Eagles, or the Eagles are the ones to prevent Andy from doing it again, and we run back the Super Bowl from a couple years ago where Jalen Hurts made a case to be MVP in a losing effort in that game.
Maybe they won't call a bogus holding in this game.
Maybe there wouldn't be a bogus holding is another way to talk about that contest, sure. Although kind of looked like it was holding. That said, that's number 3. The final 2 on my power rankings of possible Super Bowl matchups. The one seeds. The Chiefs are going for the three-peat, and the team to prevent it are the Detroit Lions. If the Detroit Lions make the Super Bowl, it would be one of those moments where, I mean, would the entire state of Michigan move to Louisiana for the week? Right?
Be a lot of blue in the
and then again, yes, Jared Goff and the Lions did start their run a couple of seasons ago, right? And you could say the night that they learned that their final game of the regular season that was being broadcast by NBC flexed into in Green Bay, that the Lions had no shot to make the playoffs. Green Bay did, and they wound up sending Aaron Rodgers into the tunnel arm in arm with Randall Cobb. He wound up being the Jets quarterback after that. That was a big moment for the Lions. Really, the biggest moment was to be chosen as the team to open up in Kansas City and watch the Chiefs raise a banner. And they won that game on Thursday night. And they served notice, right, that they're biting kneecaps.
Yep.
And then the Chiefs wound up, winning the next Super Bowl anyway. But yada, yada, yada. The Lions and Chiefs would be dynamite. What a Super Bowl that would be. But the number 1 possible Super Bowl matchup atop my power rankings list, certainly for those out there who have Chiefs fatigue and don't care about a three-peat, Lions and Bills.
Yes, sir.
Playing in the Super Bowl together. The two starved fan bases to see their dream come true in Detroit, because at least Bills fans have seen their team in the Super Bowl 4 times. But I just mentioned, would the entire state of Michigan move to Louisiana? Would the entire western part of New York move to Louisiana at the same time? I don't even know if there would be enough hotel rooms in the entire Gulf South.
Let's go.
For the two fan bases that would come to this town and watch in the Superdome Lions and Bills for the right to finally end the two fan bases that talk about just one before I die. Going against each other in the Super Bowl would just be monumental. And those are my power rankings of the possible Super Bowl 59 matchups.
Love it.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.